These are the ones that I am familiar with. Over these, I'll be covering couple of these with you guys, which is MS Excel, Access, Python scripting, and SQL Server would be part of my curriculum in this particular module. Right now comes the part where what jobs we can land. Right, so the basic, the uh, most common of these is data entry operator. For these, you don't need to learn application. It's like capturing the information for other people, right? So this is at the, like I'll say, in the chain of jobs, this is at the very basic level. You don't need to have anything. You can have scanned images, or you can have offline forms generated offline, or you can have like a list of people in an Excel spreadsheet. You can dial in their number, or you can start storing their numbers in an Excel spreadsheets like that. That's the level of job that the data entry operator has, right? Most people confuse themselves that after learning this much, should I be working on this? This is not applicable for you, right? Once you are mastered these applications and technologies, this job would not work for you. Let me just quickly strike this through. This is when you don't know the application. The basic job, when you learn all these terms, terminology, and from here, starts with the concept of data analyst. People often generate levels here, right? So some people say I am a JDA, I am a SDA, I am a DA, right? So data analyst, J stands for junior, S stands for senior, data analyst, DA stands for data analyst, right? So this is the one job that people have, right? Then after this, you have migrated, you have learned Alteryx and Tableau. Then comes the next stage for you, which is called the BI managers. Now, BI stands for business intelligence, right? BI managers or BI developers, let's say, like I'm just putting managers here, but business intelligence job opens up when you are well versed with ETL tools like Alteryx, Tableau, Power BI, etc. Here you can be either a developer, you can be a project manager, you can be a tester, you can be a consultant, anything, right? So all these designations would widely open up for you in the business intelligence. Then the next step, after you have like understood in detail, in-depth knowledge of BI, and the next cycle flows to a data engineer. Pardon my spelling here. Data engineer, people who are generally well versed with data. They are like, okay, understanding the data, the type of data, generating it from cloud, merging it to different platforms, right? Uh, all those kind of interfaces comes from the data engineer job roles, right? Next step becomes the data scientist roles, which is out of the purview of this entire course curriculum. Data scientists are basically people who generate. Give me 1 minute, guys. Having some trouble with my keyboard. Okay. Data scientist roles. Here are the people who are very well versed with the business requirements, converting business requirements into insights, generating insights into solutions, and predicting data points in time forward, right? So this is something that is out of the purview of this course, right? But definitely this is the last stage as I know of, right? Which works with the strong. Okay. Right. So data scientist is the last stage of this as of now, as on today's date, 2024, that I have known of. Right. Basically, when we are well versed with the comprehensive data analytics program of TTFA Academy, we will be open for these open job roles, right? And believe me when I'm saying these are the two, these are not very these job roles open up a wide range of packages for users, right? So you should not be worried about I'm just a JD. I've seen people crack jobs and interviews on this with the six figures handsome numbers, right? So don't worry about it. Just focus on the learning. Job opportunities are vast in these fields. Data is the oil these days, and this would be something that we would be striving towards when we are learning these applications in detail at great length, right? When we are well versed with these two highlighted options, then there are roles that we can far see in the corporate infrastructure, wherein data engineers and data scientists, they are the people who come into place and pictures, and they work with cloud engineering and big data types, right? So that's out of scope of this particular curriculum, but again, uh, first let's focus on the basics, let's make it ironclad, and then we will move on to these applications at a later stint or later course modules which we'll be introducing in the near future. Okay, so any questions on applications, job types, anything that is in your mind? Then we can quickly jump on to the, we still have some time, we can quickly do the initial beginning of the Excel.
So I have just graduated. I don't have much work experience. How can this company help me?
Definitely. See, there is a comprehensive data analytics program. This program is built for, as the name suggests, this is not a company. This is an academy. Just to correct, and this is technology and tools for all. So, uh, currently, I don't have the infrastructure to showcase on the layouts of the applications that is there, varied applications that is there, but definitely Excel, VBA, Python. This is for the fresher level. This is an amazing application start. But when you are well versed with Alteryx and Tableau, as I've said, this kind of infrastructure, you will be directly stepping into the business intelligence and business developer roles, wherein you would be reached out by the companies directly. You would be contacted. You would be requested to do the data ETLs for them, build in insights for them, and that pays a handsome amount in the upcoming market, right? So uh, companies like EY, Bank of America, there is Infosys, TCS, all these technology-driven companies, they are leveraging these applications, Alteryx, Tableau, ClickView, Power BI, all these are being leveraged, and they are looking for candidates who are even freshers. They're hiring even freshers for this kind of application-driven knowledge or skill set that they have. Definitely. But yes, the it's not going to be an easy road around, right? You would have to put in time, you would have to do the due diligence learning, you would have to complete your case studies, get your certification on time, and definitely this group would help you prepare for your interviews and other stuff that would require you to prepare. Someone
Thanks,
is
everybody,
highlighting,
for clarifying. Thank you.
right? Akash is trying to say something. I saw him notify on the screen. Questions, Akash? Okay. Cool. So I know we are already top of the hour discussing the basics today. Any questions on the on where we are landing with the comprehensive data program? Where we are on the what exactly is data? Why what is the need of data analytics? Uh, why do I need this course? Any questions and such? Let me know. Otherwise, we can just quickly start the basic of this application, how we can get it installed or things like that, right? Okay. So very quickly, just going into the platform, Microsoft.com, right? This gives us like 7 to 15 days trial or 30 days trial. I don't recall correctly, but Microsoft.com gives us the Office packages. I can just quickly say Downloads, where is downloads? 365, 365 for business, teams. I think this is it, 365. So you see, it's basically it's $145 users a month, 145 rupees, not dollars, right? 770. So these are the prices. I would not go with the purchasing license as of now. We should be using the free thing for 1 month, and we should be able to get the information. We can just quickly select the basic version of it. You can put in your email ID. Let me just see. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can put up my email ID. And you can set up an account, or you can just go ahead and install it, right? So this is what it is promising you. When you are installed into the basic business trial, you will get Word, Excel, PowerPoint. This does not have Access, so look for the one that has Access as well, because we'll be covering Access as well. Try to download that at your end. I'll leave that with you, right? Once you download that, you should be able to launch Excel like this. Right, this is your Excel application. We'll be covering this now, the introduction of it, right? So you need to have this desktop version of it. Don't go through the Google Sheets and other things, right? It's a bit it would be a bit troubling when we would not be able to connect properly to the data set, right? With these basic versions or the Excel versions that we have through Microsoft, we have the wide range of feasibility to go and learn in depth for the different ribbons and different features that this provides, right? So we'll be covering them in the following sessions, right? So let's start with the Microsoft Excel. Anyone thinks anything that is left out, let me know, or I can just quickly jump onto the application then. Okay, cool. So Excel application, very straightforward application. This is the graphical user interface. Like it is there, how the user would look and feel about it. History, if I talk about, this started back in, I think I started using it from 1997. This application was first launched, right? Since 1997, now there are multiple versions of it, and what we have right now is Office 365, or online Excel, as we say, online Office. Right, Office 365. There are multiple iterations that has come. 1997, then there was 2000, then there was 2003, then there was 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019. Now it is Office 365. Some people say these are one and the same thing, right? So definitely there has been multiple iterations of Excel. It's not just like this this is the most wanted application overnight, right? uh, Again, usage of Excel, I'll just cover a bit. So this is the history, like 1997 till 2019, and still flourishing. There are jobs on this field when people who know Excel, right? I have been hired for Excel analytics only, right? In my organization, I've been working on Excel and VBA stuff only. So I would not say that this is a fade away application. Like people are now looking less in the field of .NET and other things, but they are looking more into Python and other things. So with evolving technologies, people are still leveraging the old ones, but that is sparse. In this situation in Excel, this is not the case. If I talk about project managers, if I talk about data analyst, right? If I talk about technology people who are building on building applications, right? If I talk about statisticians, if I talk about model builders like machine learning and all those people who are learning these things, right? Model builders, right? People who are doing artificial intelligence and deep learning, any new technology that you are thinking, anything that you want to track, record, maintain, understand, validate, this is the application, this is the go-to application, right? This is the go-to application for all those things. You can go do tracking, you can do validating, you can do testing. All these things can be done here. So this is the exact reason why this is still in demand. Question anyone on this, why this is still in demand, right? So statisticians, they don't know code. A model builder came into the picture, he's high and mighty, he just built a model and sent it to the management and said that, hey, my model is complete, it's efficient, I've tested it, I've trained the model, I've tested the model, everything is working fine, and it's a hunky dory. But it's not the case. The statisticians would come and validate the logic of that model. They will be doing it in Excel. Model builders would be validating their train and test data, would be reading the data set that they will be receiving through different data engineers in Excel format, in CSV format. So it's not an application that is light in the environment. Everyone needs Excel for one or the other thing, right? These are the different like ways that I've different places where we are using the Excel application. Now comes the part, why Excel, right? Because it is user friendly, because I can do quick calculations. If I know a little bit of shortcuts, I can do my calculations a lot easier. Let's say, for example, I have to generate random numbers to test a theory, right? I can quickly generate hundreds and thousands of random numbers very quickly between a given data range. And that's like it, right? So this is, I just generated 17 different numbers with one click of, by entering only one single formula, right? That's the efficiency, that's the capacity that Excel brings to the table when it comes to data point, right? Let's say, for example, and you can see these are all same numbers because this is an array formula. We'll be covering that later, right? But let's say, for example, if I just needed to check, okay, what is the max value of this, right? So I can just do a max formula. I can get the information, right? If I just have to do min value, right? Sorry, min average of this, right? So I'll just say average, and I can get the data point, right? If I want to do a deviation of this, right? I want to put a standard deviation. I'll just go with the standard deviation population formula. I can get the information, right? It says zero, right? So because all the numbers are the same, right? So one or the other thing, I just calculated these things very quickly and I got the data point, right? I don't need to go into complex applications. I don't need to draft complex data points. I have my retail industry data here, right? I'll just quickly talk about this. So in the retail industry data set, I just want to calculate my maximum revenue out of this entire data without even going into the pivots or things like that. I can just say max and sorry, my typing is worsening right now, but give me a minute, right? And this would give me a quick maximum value, maximum revenue out of the generated sets. This is on the entire data point, right? So there is no sum, nothing like that. This is just generating the maximum value out of it. So these things are very easy in Excel. That's the reason why we need Excel, right? Again, we can store it, and wherever we have stored it, we can bring it back. When we say Excel has limited capacity, it does not mean it cannot deal with data points, right? It can deal with varied amount of data. You can have hundreds of megabytes of Excel and it would not crash if it is built properly. I've seen files that are more than 200 megabytes and they open very efficiently. Dashboards load into them very efficiently. This is a one-stop shop where you'll get visualization, where you'll get a user friendliness of drop downs. You will get data points such as calculations can be done swiftly. You can draft your pivots, you can draft your charts. In one single application, you can do all these, and that's the reason it is the most favored application till date. Right. So with that, let's understand why. Now that we have understood what exactly is this white space, right? So this is your sheet working space, right? This is your cell. So this is your column and this is your row, and the intersection is called cell. Here you get to see your address bar. So this is called A1, right? If I click on this, this would call M16. So M and then 16th row. So the first is the column interface, then is the row interface, right? This is how the address is stored. So this is kind of like in memory what we are calling it out. If I just give this, let's say a user friendly name, let's say I'll say TTFA, right? And I'll enter. Now this would no longer be called M16, it would be called TTFA. So wherever I am at this point in time, I'll just select TTFA from here, my cursor would automatically go there, right? That's this is called the address bar, right? So this address bar, this entire thing is called the address bar, wherein I am right now addressing the cell address information, right? Over here I can write the formula function, right? So I can do an fx and I can do all these kind of formula. I can create a hyperlink, I can create count, max, sign calculation, sum if, standard, pmt as in emi calculation, standard deviation. A lot of formulas are there, over and beyond, I think 200 plus formulas that we can use. uh, some of them are listed here, some of them are not listed here. We can just quickly go and see what all forms and formulas are there. Now you see all the categories of formulas are coming out here. So it's somewhere around like 300 plus formulas or more that we can do, right? So if I have to deal with only financial formula, I'll look at this, right? If I have to deal with the date and time formula, I would be doing like this. So I'm not going into the in-depth of the functions and the formulas right now. The formulas can be leveraged through here. I can just get this box. I can say, okay, I want to start calculate the day of a given date. I'll just say, okay, day. Now you see it gives me this kind of a serial number. Now if I just say, okay, let me just take a day here. I'll select this. Okay. Now you see it says the first day of the month. So it's giving me the day. This is how the formulas can be written using a interface of the Excel. So fx over here, that's the, and now you see it's asking us to edit it, right? So that's the way this formula address bar is taken care of. We can increase or decrease if we have a complex formula written. We can increase and decrease the size of this, right? Uh, So we have covered this address bar, we have covered this function bar, right? Now moving on to the top of it, which is your ribbon, right? So the ribbon is basically the default interface that is given by the Excel to understand and leverage the default functionalities of Excel. So we'll go one by one. File option over here. This is pretty straightforward. New will give you a new file, new workbook, right? We'll cover the concept of workbook and sheets in a bit. Open will open a workbook from a given location. Save will save it to a location. Save as will save it as a different file name or a different location name with the same file name based on your choice. Save as Adobe PDF is a new feature wherein you can save your sheet as the PDF version of your, as I said, you have the flexibility to do a limited amount of visualization in Excel as well. Not in depth like Tableau and Power BI, but yes, a limited amount of visualization in Excel as well. And you can do that using, and you can export them into the PDF formats, those visualizations, right? Print would help you print the given sheet in a paper bound environment, right? Share would help you share this over an email or PDF and share the link, right, based on the requirement that you have. uh, Adobe PDF link, again, this is a new feature wherein you can create a PDF link and share it. Export this would ask you to export in which format, right? So these menus are basically try and research. We'll not be going in depth of each one of these, right? We can just go ahead and like try and like learn from errors on this. But if you have any questions, you can definitely circle back to me that okay, this option is not working for me. One thing that you need to understand is your account information, right? So right now this gives me my computer name. I would have the flexibility to open this. Here I can check the version of the Excel that I have on my system. This is 2016, right? And it's a 64-bit version, right? This is important when you are building on complex tools and technologies. You need to know the version that it is built into, so that you can forward it to the latest version, or you can backward it based on the forward compatibility and the backward compatibility of the tool, right? Last but not the least comes the options part. Now, this is very important. Most of the people generally fail the importance of this. This is your Excel options. This is how your sheets would open up, or this is how your workbook would load, right? So, in general, you can just browse through these, right? This would be like a quick read through for everyone. But in case if you have any questions, you can come back and ask me. Like I can select dark gray, and it would change the options here. You can see everything changed in the background, right? If I go back and I say okay, now where is it? Yeah, here. Give me 1 minute. Excel option, come on. Okay, here I'll just if I just say okay, now where was it? A dark gray. I just said okay, now go back to white. Colors and stripe, I say okay, do some stars for me. I say okay. Now you see there are stars on the top. The entire background is white and everything, right? So this is how you can make your interface look a little bit cooler, right? In the general options, this is like plug and play. Whenever you are learning it, you just need to plug and play yourself, right? Uh, you can see right now this says include this many sheets. So if I just say 5 sheets here, right? What it would do is that when I'm opening a new workbook, when I'm creating a new workbook, you see my workbook is automatically creating 5 sheets here, right? Now we just understood about the key concept of cell, right? One sheet has a total column count. So let me just quickly show that to you over here, right? So, and let me just drag this down, right? So if I just do a count of how many columns I have, right? So this would be somewhere around 255, 16384, sorry. And this would be 1058, 576, 1048, 576. So this much of data can be stored, right, in this particular sheet itself. Now, Excel has the capability to create or replicate these sheets into multiple views, right? So I have similar format of sheet 2, 16384 columns and 1048, 576. Sheet 3 would be same in format, right? Sheet 4 would be same in format, and sheet 5 would be same in format. Now, each sheet, if I talk about this, I have 16384 into 1048 576 in one sheet, and I've just now created 5 sheets. This much of information can be stored in a single workbook. Now you can comprehend the amount of data that Excel in itself can store. If I have, let's say, 10 worksheet, or I would have, say, let's say 20 worksheets. Now this is how you will feel that okay, now this much of data is what. Now this is going into exponential format. It's not even in numeric format. You see this e plus 11. So this is 10 to the power plus 11. So 3.4359 into 10 to the power plus 11. 10 to the power 11. That's the number that you have got. That many informations that you can store within Excel. And then if that much is not sufficient, then you go, or the file starts troubling you, then you switch to MS Access databases, and then from there you switch on to different cloud or different architectural databases. So there was a time when only Excel was self capable of managing multiple data structures using this data structure storage capability itself. So no one was using SQL, or these all started coming in when data started taking a boom in the market. Till that time, everything was Excel driven. So any questions on this, guys? how we are generating the options. I am not going each step by each step on this. This is something that you need to figure out. Normal view, page break view, page layout view, formulas again, how you want to error check your formulas and how you want to do that. Please go through these. If you're not able to understand it, uh, please let me know and we will touch base on these things. Proofing, what is proofing? What is the save doing? Where exactly it is saving when the Excel crashes or things like that. Language, what is the default language it is storing? Where exactly it goes? What are the advanced options within this, right? If it is a macro driven workbook, if it is a not a macro driven workbook, I can even customize my ribbons, right? I say, okay, I don't want background removal. I don't want Acrobat. I don't want developer. Just remove these from my options right now. So I'll just say okay. And you see all these options that I have just unchecked have gone away on the ribbons tab, right? Only thing that is that I would have to cover, right? So I can even minimize these through the options, right? So basically how your Excel would look and feel, what is the customization you want to do, you can do it through here. In some of the enterprise wide, you would have add-ins. We'll be covering this when we'll be covering the advanced topics of VBA and add-ins, how to build on add-ins, how to customize or configure add-ins. These would be the advanced pieces of it. Trust centers is where you will give the authentication to Windows saying that, hey, I have written this piece of code in my Excel VBA. I have written this piece of code on my Excel. I want this to be trusted by Windows. And when I execute it, Windows should not intervene with my operation. Windows should not stop me from executing anything within this Excel. Right. So that is where you want to authorize your Windows to have your Excel go through that. Right. What is the location of it? What is the document that you want to provide? These are all read through materials. We will not be covering much time on these. But in case you have any questions understanding these concepts, please feel free to raise it as one of the concerns. And our operations team would set up a troubleshooting session and we will be able to help you in detail on those topics again, right? As part of the Q&A program, right? With that, I know I've covered almost all the basics aspects of it. Tomorrow we'll be covering the Excel interface itself. Please let me know if you have any questions, feedbacks, or comments to the email ID TTFA Academy. Right, mark an email and we will get back to you. Any thing that we are going on too fast, too slow, the pace is requires to be lower down. To let us know on these feedbacks and we'll get back to you.